myself drifting away, and my feelings began to wane with each passing day, like a leak that keeps dripping over time. My love for you slowly leaked out of me. I tried to make it work for weeks. I stayed longer than I should have, and before I knew it, there wasn't a single drop left in me that still wanted.
My confession, no A. The way we just split got me feeling away. Something in my head tells me this ain't okay. But I regret not saying that I want you to stay. Yeah, I want you to. Conversations that we had about your insecurity. You had doubt that I could be all that I could be. It was nothing I could tell you, didn't even want to sell you. But if a woman can't support a man, then it's gonna be failure. Yeah, it's gonna be failure. Told you just trust in me and we can make it to wherever. But you can't put a time on greatness, you gon' have to endeavor. Could you picture me? Trying to get you to say things that I bring to the table, but you love me. I said you love me. You love me. Why did you leave me? Didn't have to leave.
I hear you take, can you wear me while I stop to breathe? I put my hands up in the air so that you tell me free. I throw 100 on the table, you ain't telling me. I sacrifice my life for you, so gon' be telling me I get it. Isn't it incredible? How I'm available, relying and forgettable, calling the nigga terrible. You know it's not right. No, I'm not giving a fuck about who's in your bed. Yeah, get it. Right, I with it. 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 Conversations that we had about your insecurity. You had your doubts that I could be all that I can be, but there was nothing I could tell you. You had to just trust me. So grab my hand now and tell me you trust it.
Could you picture me?
What's good, y'all? How we doing? And of course it starts lagging. Not surprised. Of course it starts lagging. Why not? I expected this. Not surprised whatsoever. Alright. Hold up. Where are we at? Volume. Check. Mic check. Alright. I expected this. Not surprised. Okay. I can at least hear myself. Good. Cool. How you guys doing tonight? What's going on? Before we get into some of the topics. So, I wanted to say this before we do get started. Toshiro versus Kakashi was a resounding success. The video is complete. I sent it over to my editor, and we'll see how it comes back. Usually he does really good work. I'm excited to see it, put together. But it was good. I want to say this. Don't be like, when you see the Naruto side, just know I tried my best. Just know I tried my best for the Naruto side. And by try my best, I don't mean I gave them things that I don't think like they deserve. Like, I know Eon likes to give them light speed. I know Steinixos maybe likes to give them light speed. I don't do that. That's not me trying my best. Me trying my best is trying to be as accurate and consistent as possible. And so in that endeavor, I tried my best with them. But we'll see. We'll see how the community is receptive to this video. We'll see if the scaling makes sense and lines up with you guys. all the things that I talk about other scalers with, we'll see how people are receptive to this video. Not that the Ikkaku versus Asuma video was bad or anything, right? But I always try and come from a place of being grounded. I always try and come from a place of where what I'm saying makes the most amount of sense. And if I do get something wrong, I want it to be something that like we could go back and forth on, not like a where the fuck did you get this Ab-Stract? You made this up, Ab-Stract. You know what I mean? Because that's what I be seeing happen. So, you know, we definitely ain't doing any of that stuff. But the video was good overall. We're looking at a 30-minute video, guys. Yeah, y'all gonna eat. Y'all gonna eat. We're looking at a 30-minute video. We're looking at a 30-minute video about the first 8 to 10 minutes is dedicated to Toshiro and his scaling. Then the next, I think, 11 minutes is dedicated to Kakashi. And then we have, of course, the second phase getting into Dual Mangekyo Sharingan Kakashi versus adult form Toshiro. Hold on. But yeah, I think you guys are going to fuck with it. I think this is actually going to be my first also official video of 2025. This year has mainly been a lot of streaming and stuff. Like you guys getting to know me as a person, you guys getting to see how I think, how I interact with you guys. Me getting to know you guys too. It just hasn't been a one-way streak. I'm getting to know a lot about you guys. Like, not like on a personal level more so, right? Just as far as interacting. Like my core niggas right now is, of course, Shinigami, Mugetsu, Grid, Rev, Kai, Nick, Robert. Who am I forgetting anyone off the top of my head? Red. And then we have Godflow, who was also Red. I think I already said Mugetsu, said Grid, said Rev. I don't know if there's anyone else I'm forgetting of course, Tay, my twin brother, of course. He goes without saying though, you know. But yeah, I got my core guys. Y'all been fucking with me since I started this, you know, streaming shit. The video's gonna be fire. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. In fact, I'm so excited for this shit. It got me wanting to do some more versus matchups. Because I cover a lot of, my channel covers a lot of things, right? We can get into analytical videos. We can get into somewhat philosophical videos with the JJK thing I did. We can get into breaking down power dynamics. And then there's the also power scaling aspect of my channel, right? But I really only have technically two or one. Right? Because we have the Ikkaku versus Asuma. That's like the first official crossover. But then we also have Badagan versus the 5 Kage. But this was kind of before I knew how to actually triple AP scale. Don't get me wrong. Nothing in that video is really incorrect. It just doesn't have the like hardcore scaling aspects that I'd be following now. But that video is still good. You can use that shit. So yeah. But that video got me wanting to make some more versus battles. So tonight we're going to be talking about the Hidden Leaf versus the Gotei 13. How would something like that play out? How would that look? And then I kind of want to get your guys' opinion on some 1v1 matchups that we could potentially get into. Who's going to be the funnest 1v1? But I also kind of want it to be close too. See, it being close is going to be a hard thing because I'm not going to lie. The fact that Bleach just kind of as a series outscales Naruto, it's going to be very hard to find a close 1v1. And my whole thing... Oh, shit. Goddamn. Yeah. And my whole thing is, you know, not doing the Narutos versus the Ichigos. Not doing the Madara versus the Aizens. But it's going to be really hard if I don't have a top tier of the Naruto verse. It's going to be really hard. So maybe I could do like Maybe like Adenyeto or Zamari versus the 5 Kage or something like that. Yeah, that might work. That might work. If I'm gonna, yeah, that might work. I like they're gonna have to get jumped. To be honest with you guys, they're gonna have to get jumped because in a 1v1 scenario, especially with the information that I found out just doing Kakashi's video, bro, it's not looking good for a lot of people. Not looking good for a lot of people. All right, let's get into the comments. Someone hates the Leaf Village. What's good, Nick? Sending the entire Gotei 13 on a mission Hinamori can handle by herself is a little insane. It's hilarious you say that, Mugetsu, because that's the first person I said. Konoha thinking they finna box with the god till they end up in a box sent to God. Ooh, bars. That was fire. I like that. Shinigami says just need one Gotei member and not even a captain at that. Kuribo says hi. What's good, Kuribo? How you doing? By the way, guys, this came from Kuribo. So I'll say this. Kuribo has always... Shout out to Kuribo for, again, being the reason that the agenda gets pushed forward, right? Let me go here real quick. As y'all see, I got my cybersecurity shit here. You know, PKI, Certificate Authority. How PKI... I'm on my shit. As y'all see, I'm talking to Grok. We doing good work. All right, but as back to what I was saying, Kuribo stays to be a staple in getting me to do videos. So I wanna shout out Kuribo. This is actually something he posted from someone else. I mean, obviously this person posted it, but I saw it from Kuribo, so that's who gets the credit in my world. Kuribo gets this credit. So if I do end up, and as you see, next video topic, if I do end up making this a video, much like Asuma versus whatchamacallit and Kakashi versus Toshiro, this is a Kuribo-driven topic. Guys, if you guys want me to do a video, just put it out there. Send me something on Twitter. Get my interest piqued. This piques my interest. Number one, I've always wanted to do something like this, whether we're talking about the defense of the Sedate versus the defense of the Leaf, whether we're talking about the scientific breakthroughs of the Sedate versus the scientific breakthroughs of the Leaf Village, whether we're talking about a full-on war between these two factions. It interests the hell out of me. I would love to see it. Right? Because both sides really do have good espionage people. Both sides have... Well, the Leaf Village doesn't really have, like, any aggro people, right? To pull from tanks and stuff. Like, they don't have tanks. They don't have any frontline people. The Leaf Village doesn't. They have fighters, yes, but they don't have any front lines. Like Kenpachi would be a front line. Komamura absolutely be a front line. He's also a tank. They don't really have any tanks. The Leaf Village has some good... See, the Leaf Village has really good all-around people. Like Itachi... No. Kakashi is a good all-around. Obito would be a good all-around. Jiraiya would be a good all-around. Yeah. So shout out to Kuribo. Let me see. Send Rangiku, Shuhei, Izuru, Renji with his fake Bankai, Rukia, and whoever. Yeah, see, we'd have to get into that because can the lieutenants, not even the captains, can the 13 lieutenants, or at least can 6 lieutenants contest the Leaf Village? Seriously, think about that question. Can 6 lieutenants contest the Leaf Village? They win. If a captain is asked, Kensei or Shinji or Rose or Sorfon are enough. Let me think about that. I don't know if anyone in that village has an attack that can hurt Kensei. I don't know if anyone in that village has an Kensei and Bankai with his steel or with his garbs, whatever. I don't know if anyone in that village has an answer to Shinji's Sakanade or his Bankai. I don't know if anyone in that village... Who else we got? Rose. Rose was able to take Stark's Setos and his Wolf Warhead explosions. I don't know if anyone in that village, number one, has the speed to tag him with an attack, but number two, has the potency to actually put Rose down. Don't think so. I don't know if anyone in that village is... No, yeah. Soifone... See, the thing with Soifone is... Soifone would kind of embarrass the Leaf. Like, they would think they were a ninja until they started fighting Soifone. This isn't to say Soifone is a better ninja, but Soifone does better ninja shit than them. Like, how they would want to be body flickering around, Soifone would do that to them. On top of Suzume Bachi. Literally ending everyone in a single hit. And I know it takes 2 hits, but listen to what I just said. Literally ending everyone in a single hit. Now, back to the people that I know rock with me. Chaos Spirit of the Edge, aka Gogeta. Sean Lord's getting more active in here. JJ, Ursa. I didn't forget you guys, mind you. I didn't forget you guys, but I was really just naming, the top people that stick with me through, Okay. Shinigami says, anyway, Ab-Stract, yo, new drawing and what you think of the one I sent on Twitter. Sensing Kenpachi vibes from that guy. I'll check it out, bro. I'm going to check it out. Let me get it ready. I'm going to check it out. Kuribo says, the Leaf wins. No surprise there. Mugetsu says, MFW, the current Hokage just makes more areas for Shunsui to use his shadow games. See, like, if I wholeheartedly believe if we're sending anyone of Shunsui's tier or Shunsui himself, I don't know how they win. And this is with Shunsui explaining all of the games to them. This is with Shunsui more or less taking it easy on them, not going all out until he has to. I don't know how they win. Because Shunsui can share his game with people that are comparable to him and still beat their asses. Lille, Stark. Like, he's sharing his game to people who are on his level or at least a little stronger. And he's still putting belt to ass. All these people are weaker than Shunsui. A Seto Blast would kill all these people in one attack. None of them had the durability to survive a Seto Blast. So, if Shunsui alone even goes, that will be an issue. If Unohana goes, I wouldn't even want to think of what would happen. If Captain Aizen goes, wrap it up. Called a Sound Village that doesn't formally exist. Called a Sand Village. Get the Kazekage back on the line. Bring Onogi and his 12,000 stone troopers. Get the Mizukage back on the line. We're going to need that Blood Mist Village, like, now. Call the Raikage. We could always use some black people. They know how to get down. Okay. Shinigami says, Hashirama versus Shunsui. Bro. No. So, here's the thing. Hashirama... So, like, anyone fighting Shunsui, they're going to have to conform to how he fights. Literally. Wood style will be pretty much useless in a game of, I was about to say Kage Oni. In Ida Oni. In Ida Oni, wood style will be useless. In Ida Oni, you have to call out the color you want to cut. Mind you, he wears a colorful kimono for that specific reason. For that one game, I believe, he wears a colorful kimono. Under their kimono is all black. We know under Hashirama's armor is all black. If Shunsui feels like being an asshole, he doesn't have to tell you his games. He doesn't have to. We're going to grant that he does, but he doesn't have to. Then we have to factor in how fast is Hashirama. Definitely not a speed demon of the verse. Definitely not. But we know Body Flicker can't even move you around the battlefield like that. Whereas Shinpo, you can go pretty much wherever you want and attack at that speed. Alright. Tobirama versus Toshiro. After Kakashi versus Toshiro comes out, you're not even going to want to put anyone from that uses water style. Well, never. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. But no, if you use water style, you're not beating Toshiro. Tobirama, Hiruzen versus, I don't know, Ukitake. It was just funny. Me and my twin brother were talking about Ukitake. Like, see, here's the thing. Ukitake is not a fraud. Like, I know he scales to Shunsui at the very least. He's not a fraud, but I know he scales to Shunsui. He just hasn't done anything. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to give it to Hiruzen because he massively outscales Hiruzen, but Ukitake, man, he got a bad choice. Minato versus Yoruichi. Shinigami got some good-ass matchups. Minato versus Yoruichi. Minato would never be able to do enough damage to Yoruichi to actually like put her down, number one. I think his reaction speed is good enough to pretty much avoid her if he like has to until he at least runs out of chakra. It'll be even in that regard to where I think he should be able to react to her and activate his seal and get away. But Shunko will make it quite impossible for him to actually like hurt her or hit her. Tsunade versus Rangiku. Tsunade versus Rangiku. Tsunade lacks the speed to be able to touch Rangiku, sadly. She lacks the speed. If she hit her, do I think it would hurt? Debatably. Debatably. The lieutenants... No, yeah, Rangiku should scale above... What is that guy's name? Nakamo, Nagini, Nagan. I don't know. I don't know his name. But yeah. She should scale above the Fracciones that fought against... Or that... The Fracciones that she killed should scale with the one that fought Ikkaku. And no one here has a better feat of durability than Ikkaku. No one here. Not a single one of them. This is Ikkaku, not a captain. Kakashi versus Byakuya. Oh, I like that fight. I mean, I only like it because Kakashi and Byakuya are kind of the same. I don't really like the fight, but I like that fight. That's an easy one. Byakuya takes this pretty handedly. Kakashi's best move is Raikiri. The Raikiri has been dodged several times, all by people who are not a blitz tier ahead of Kakashi. That alone should answer your question. If his only win condition, which it is Raikiri, and slower or people that are blitz or people that are not a blitz tier above him are dodging it, and they're dodging it point blank, and they're fast enough to intercept his Raikiri, someone that can actually flash step at more than Mach 100 speeds is dodging Raikiri every day of the week. And finally, I don't know, Naruto versus Kinpachi. Naruto versus Kinpachi. That'd be a fun fight. Let's see. It all depends on how Kinpachi's feeling. Like, if you drop all of the Gotei members in there, and Kinpachi's like sitting there bored because he's hacked up all the fodder, and then Naruto comes, and Kinpachi looks at him, he observes him, and for a minute, let's kind of equate chakra to spirit energy. And Kinpachi's like, oh wow, out of everyone in this village, you have the most spiritual energy. Chakra, right? You have the most spiritual energy, and he's kind of piqued by that. And then Kinpachi being a soul, he should actually be able to determine he has a different entity within him as well, being the nine-tailed fox. I mean, that's just my opinion. He should be able to figure that out. Or at least sense the presence of another entity, if not that. And it kind of depends on if Naruto starts off in Sage mode, if he starts off in KCM form. Does he start off in his full Biju since the whole village is getting fucked over? Does he just start off in his full Biju? Kind of depends. Either way, Kinpachi's going to take it pretty slowly because he wants to enjoy the fight. Clearly, this is the strongest person in the village. He's not going to miss this opportunity. He's going to get the most out of Naruto. He's going to push Naruto to his limits and beyond before he ends the fight. And the thing is, after whooping his ass, he's not even going to kill Naruto. Like, Naruto's going to have to die from him wanting to keep fighting Kenpachi. But Kenpachi's not going to kill Naruto. And even if you want to argue, oh, well, Kenpachi did like a fatal attack, Naruto has good enough vitality to where he should be able to survive. But he's not going to kill Naruto, is basically what I'm saying. So, like, Naruto will be like the sole survivor of the Leaf's destruction and stuff. Start a new clan. I like most of these Shinigami. Hey, yo, me too, Tay. He gave some good-ass matchups. Oh, and Shikamaru versus Kisuke. Why would you do that to Shikamaru? Why would you do... Like, if you're gonna put Kisuke up against somebody, put Kisuke up against, like, Orochimaru, Kabuto, and Jiraiya. That's Orochimaru, Kabuto, Jiraiya, and Tsunade, actually. Kisuke would probably need to fight 4 people. I'm not going to lie to you. Mind you, Kisuke is the only person to damn near only kill Aizen in about less than 5 moves. He almost killed Aizen. Less than 5. If he's pulling it off on Aizen, he's pulling it off on anyone else in the verse. Don't let the hat and clogs fool you. The man is dangerous. Okay, where we at? Wait, what the fuck? Where we at? How did I get so far down? Hey, yo, get the likes up. Good shit, Tay. Get the likes up. Share the video. Like the live. What we talking about? Or should I use vice captains? LOL. Peekaboo. Hey, what's good, Rev? How you doing? When is that video coming? So, yeah, like I said, the video is already in the works. I sent it to my editor. Whenever he gets it back to me, I'll get with him. He'll let me know I'll let him know if I need anything changed. He'll let me know if he can do it. If he can't, that's absolutely fine. I'll do my best to. But he's usually good for it. He's usually good for everything. Here's a question. Would Shinji's Bankai cause Lee and Guy to immediately 8th gate and burn out? That's so fucking funny. Hey, yo. That'd be the shit that would really make Shinji's Bankai like crazy. Imagine they try and go 1st gate, but since everything's reversed, they start in the 8th gate and immediately like just burn out all their fucking fuel chakra and kill themselves, turn into magma statues and creatures and shit like that. That'd be fire, bro. That'd be fire. I really wish they did that. If he can do that and it's in the novel somewhere, yes. But if he can't, it's just wishful thinking. But that's a dope concept. Drop one, drop. Hey, what's good, Grid? How you doing, bro? Onk ready. Onkered. R-E-D. I don't know what that is, Rev. Chaos Edge. I do know Chaos Edge. Yes, we did. By the way, App, I don't know if you want to call me one of the core ninjas, considering I'm white. Kiku. Hey, Mugetsu. Right here, bro. Right here. You good? I got a few white homies. It's straight. Hey, yo, what's good, my peoples? Hey, what's good, Kai? How you doing, Kai? Ever notice how Shino, one of the only characters in Naruto that has a flawless on-screen record, well, until Boruto ruined him? Oh, my God, man. Yeah, so Shino was going to be something special. If Shino went on the Sasuke retrieval mission, I guarantee you they get him. Shino, unironically, hard counters pretty much every fucking member of the Sound 4. Except for Jirobo, but they had Choji's father asked to deal with Jirobo, so that kind of evened out. But Shino is a hard knight for Kidomaru. He knows insects, number 1. Number 2, his bugs would be able to find Kidomaru. It wouldn't go like how it went with Neji. His insects for Tayuya could clog up her flute, therefore no flute, no sound genjutsu. Take that off the table, and then it's literally like a 3v1 versus Kimimaru. He can't get Sasuke because it's a 3v1. If Shino goes on that rescue mission, and it makes sense he was out of the village because Kishimoto knew if I have Shino go, they're going to win. And he couldn't have them win. Like, he literally hard counters 2 of the hardest people, Kidomaru and fucking Tayuya, which are 2 of the hardest people. Sakon is cool. He's good. I love his ability. Jirobo's cool. Pure muscles, pure strength. Cool, I like him too. But it's really Sakon, Tayuya, and Kimimaru who are the powerhouses. Gotei 13 is going to wash. Oh, yeah, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Mugetsu plunges the world into darkness. It doesn't even get more black than that. That's fire, Rev. That's fire. Yoruichi versus Minato, or Soifun versus Minato, or Ishin versus Minato. Yeah, Soifun versus Minato would be pretty much the same results as Yoruichi versus Minato. So, like, the thing is, Minato lacks high AP. Well, here's the thing. They all lack high AP, but some people more than others. Minato's Rasengan, if you want to scale it to Naruto's at his, like, best, fine, but that's an in-base Naruto. We're not talking higher than large building level AP for his Rasengan in base. Same thing with Kakashi's Raikiri. It doesn't calc impressive. Nothing scales it impressively. We're talking large building level for his Raikiri. The only thing that really gets out of large building level is when we start getting to things like the Rasengan. I'm sorry, the Rasen Shuriken. And certain other big techniques like Seventh Gate Guy, Hitodora type stuff. But everyone here, let's go over. Orochimaru has striking Shadow Snake. Does anyone know an Orochimaru jutsu better than striking Shadow Snake that he actually has, and that's not Edo Tensei? Edo Tensei wouldn't help in this fight either. No, there is no better attack than Edo Tensei. Jiraiya has Sage Mode, but on top of his Sage Mode, all he really has is more Rasengan. More Rasengan, that's it. And his Rasengan isn't vaporizing anything, it's just fragmenting, heavily fragmenting. That's all his Rasengan is doing. Then we have Obito. Obito is all hacks, and he doesn't even have both his Sharingan because this moocher took one. So he has his single Sharingan of being able to phase through things. This will keep him alive for a long time. If he can, let's give him being able to phase 10 minutes. This will keep him alive for a very long time. It will allow him to rescue certain people in a fight for a very long time until they come back to the battlefield. But Obito's AP is shit. Obito's not hurting anyone in Bleach. I already went over Minato. Fugaku is featless. Don't know why he's up here. He's featless. Asuma is not beating Ikkaku. Went over this guy. Guy is dangerous. When we start talking about Guy, once that man gets into the 7th and 8th gate, then we can start talking. Because, hey, this guy with the bushy brow haircut, he's dangerous. In 7th and 8th gate, he does have the AP to hurt people in Bleach. He does. Sakamoto Hatake. He looks like an Uchiha. Sakamoto Hakate. Also featless. Get him out of here. Win over Kakashi. Itachi doesn't have the AP. Itachi does have the hacks. But then again, we have no scaling for his hacks. There's nothing to say that the Totsuka Blade is going to work on spiritual entities stronger than the spiritual weapons that he has. So, the Totsuka Blade and the Yata Mirror fall into a no limits fallacy in this regard, because they have no count. There's no scaling that contests them. Everything just seems to work in Naruto because there are no parameters or perceived standards of power that you have to overcome or conquer. Like how Haki can negate devil fruits and spiritual energy can negate certain Oh shit, hold up. Oh god. Cramping. Y'all heard that crack? Yeah. Yeah. There's no resisting in Naruto. There is none. So we cannot just assert Susanoo works on. I'm sorry, we cannot just assert Totsuka Blade works on any and whoever it happens to stab and pierce. Mind you, we're dealing with a verse that claims oh, Naruto characters can see and interact with spirits all the time. They can see the Edo Tensei. They can see spirits. We're dealing with a verse that a fodder pain can put his hand on someone and just rip out their soul. The only person who ever fucking contested that was the main character. Are we surprised? Naruto is the exception to the rule. He does not make the rule. Something I've always said, something I'll always stand by. Just because this motherfucker can resist his soul being grabbed because he has Kurama grabbing his soul for him, doesn't mean everyone in the verse can do that. In fact, we've seen no one in their village do that. How many niggas had their soul ripped out not telling where Naruto was? How many niggas had their tongues ripped out not telling where Naruto was? Didn't see any resistance going on. But you know what? Tatsuki was able to resist Yami's Gunzui. So guess what Tatsuki's going to resist? Pain's fucking soul still. Sorry. Big tangent. Didn't even mean to get on that. All I'm saying is Totsuka Blade is a no limits fallacy and it needs scaling to actually prove that it would work on stronger people than Itachi. Shisui got his eye taken by Danzo. Need I say more? Shisui couldn't beat some fodder Anbu who were chasing him in the forest. Need I say more? Shisui felt it was more appropriate to die than to get treatment for the poison that he got afflicted with. He felt it was more appropriate to die and leave the world rather than help Itachi and his clan fix the incoming disaster. This bum fraud of a fifth Hokage Tsunade. I actually don't even have a problem. I actually don't have a problem with Tsunade. I do like Tsunade, right? I do like her. I like her more than Sakura, I'll say. Useless. Completely useless when Pain pulled up. Completely useless confronting the Raikage about Naruto. Naruto and B literally did all the work, and then she got the balls to actually do something. Completely useless there. Completely useless during the war. Completely useless against Madara. Say what you want. Oh, she healed the Kage. She didn't really do shit, though. In fact, all of them were pretty useless against Madara, but, you know. Yeah. They don't have a lot. Let's go. Let's do this. What are we working with here? Let's do this real quick. First, starting with Mayuri, we have this crazy son of a bitch. We have this crazy bastard who could literally summon Ashisoki Jizo and start off the battle by spewing poison throughout the entire fucking village. If I remember correctly, his poison goes around 200 meters. Y'all ever ran track? Have y'all ran track? Then we have this little bastard who I think who Mugetsu calls Dirty Baller. We got Dirty Baller Toshiro. Toshiro can make it snow for 10 square fucking miles. And the Leaf Village could do nothing to stop him. Because he'd just be in the air, doing Kyoten Hyakuso, then using Tenso Jorin. Then we got this shifty bastard, Kiraku. I kind of already went over him, but the nigga plays games. That's literally it. Then we have Byakuya. He's going to flash step in 360 every nigga he comes across, and no one will know what happened. Then we have Unohana. I don't even want to think about if Yamamoto told her to go all out. I don't even want to think about it. She'd be healing the Leaf Ninja. Yes, that's what she would be doing. She'd be pushing Sakura's bum ass to the side and saying, let me work, you go do some shit. Then we have Soifone. Big ass fuck off missile right at the Leaf Village. No one's doing anything to stop it. Then we have this spiky haired motherfucker right here. Like I said, he's not even going to be fighting anyone because he's not going to be interested in no one but Naruto because Naruto has the most amount of chakra. Then we have Kaname. But this is Soul Society Kaname, so he doesn't have his hollow mask in Resurrection. He still has a very difficult Bankai to contend with. Anyone trapped in his Bankai within that village pretty much loses the fight automatically. Even the Sharingan would not work in his thing because it cuts off all senses, including spiritual sense. So even sensory type ninja would not be fucking okay in there. Then we have Komamura. Then we have Komamura. He'll go Bankai, Kokujo, Tengen, Myoho, and just start wrecking the entire village. Choji's dad will have to fight with him and get his ass cut in half. And then that's going to be pretty much in the story. Then we have Aizen. Debatably, Aizen could put a Hutsugi over the whole village. No, I'm playing. He can't Hutsugi the whole village. But he'd be one-shotting anyone he came across. And let's not forget this old fucking man right here. Let's do this. Yamamoto. I'm fully convinced. Fully convinced. There's actually not a doubt in my mind. Where are we at? Where are we at? Come on, where's that? Yeah. There's not a doubt in my mind that this single move one-shots everyone in Naruto. That's not a hot take. That's not a reach. That's not a flamboyant statement. I'm dead ass. This one move one-shots everyone in Naruto. Provided they're not behind a Susanoo. Provided they're not behind anything that's not their bare body. One shot. Easily. Very easily. Let's get back to the comments. Alright, you do Ichigo versus... I already read that. Do Renji versus Sasuke. Depending on the Renji we're talking about. So it depends on the Renji we're talking about for how that's going to go. Mind you, ultimately Renji would still win just because Renji is higher scaling than Sasuke. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this real quick. Hey yo, shout out to having good fucking internet tonight. God damn, bro. Or at least I think it's good. I don't know if niggas is complaining or not, but it looks good. Let me do this real quick. That snail call has become my default like thing when I'm like trying to do something, but I'm not really doing something. Okay, let's see. Oh, you know what? Let me do it like this. Because I got it in my notes. Where's it at? Chapter 66. Okay. Ichigo gets his sword. So, this is Ichigo's first Getsuga. Actually, we'll go here. We'll do it like this. Oh, this is Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't even have Bleach pulled up. That's crazy. I need a Bleach one. Okay, there we go. We'll use this one. Would I say 67? Come on, man. These ads fucking me up, man. 67. 66, 67. So, he blocks it with Benihime. You killed my hat. This is his first Getsuga. I've never calced this. But mind you, there was a huge structure here. There was a huge structure here. And now you can see the depths of it. This is vaporization. Or at the very least, pulverization. But you can argue, given the clear steam coming off of these rocks. Or whatever, yeah. This is his first Getsuga. Do you guys have anyone in Naruto surviving anything like this? Here's the thing. Renji took this point blank and was one-shotted. But this was Soul Society Renji. If we're talking about Renji when he gets his Bankai and he gets stronger, how the fuck is Sasuke supposed to hurt him, and with what? Kirin? Kirin would actually be his best bet. Kirin would be his best bet, but it takes too much prep time, and Renji is not Itachi. Renji can actually flash step away from Kirin. Somehow Itachi couldn't body flicker away, though. Let's get back to the chat. All that ninja shit ain't gonna work, and you don't even need soy phone. Like I keep saying, Hanataro clears the Naruto verse. In my opinion, a decent fight would be Jackpot Knuckle Dude versus the Third Raikage. Oh yeah, you're right. Mo Shishigawara would actually. Ooh, that would be a dope fight. That would be a dope fight. That would be a dope fight. Aranyeto, really? Aranyeto doesn't make it past part 1 guy. No one has speed feats that would allow them to tag Aranyeto. Not gonna lie, both them full page spreads go hard. The triple AP scaling logic does Naruto characters no favors. I think the Akatsuki, except the top tiers versus the Soul Society Arc Lieutenants, is probably competitive. Yeah. Soul Society Lieutenants. So the thing is, most of the lieutenants don't get feats until the Arrancar arc, and we can pretty much judge the Fracciones. But that's hard to do too. Well, no, we can do that. We can do that actually, because the person that fought Ikkaku in the World of the Living during the Arrancar arc or Fate Katakura arc, the big guy, we know he was stronger than. Well, no, because we don't actually know that for sure, because he was in a release state and Ikkaku didn't want to use his Bankai. So we don't know if he was stronger for sure, but we know he was stronger than Ikkaku with his Shikai. But being that Ikkaku, Shuhei, Yumishika, and Izuru are all pretty much relative, we can pretty much conclude that their base strengths are somewhat similar as far as the Arrancar. So I think yes, because the Akatsuki, and see, here's the thing with the Akatsuki fighting the Bijou, and I bring this up in the Toshiro versus Kakashi video. I won't give you guys too much of that, because I'll let y'all be surprised when you see it or whatever. The thing with the Bijou is, outside of their Bijou bombs, which we've actually never seen an Akatsuki member survive, tank, or last through with their physical bodies, say for Kakuza taking a fireball, which is not a Bijou bomb. Aside from their Bijou bombs, the tailed beasts aren't that impressive. Let's do this. What is this? 8 Tails subduing team. What is this? Oh, okay, yeah. What is this? I'll tell you what this is. It's embarrassing. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ninja. We have 6 ninja subduing the 8 Tails. the all-powerful tailed beast of the eight tails. The octopus ox. So we have basic fodders subduing the eight tails. We presumably have Hidan beating the two tails, since during that end of that fight we saw him doing his ritual. And we have Deidara one-shotting / two-shotting the three tails. The tailed beasts are not impressive. So the Akatsuki capturing them doesn't surprise me. It does not surprise me. The tailed beasts are not impressive. I'll say this. For Naruto, they might be impressive. Cross-verse, the tailed beasts are hollows. Not even going to lie to you, the tailed beasts actually might be weaker than hollows. Across verse, the tailed beast might actually be weaker than hollows. Oh, but how could they be weaker than hollows? Mind you, you're judging their Biju bombs. I'm going over things like this. Like, I'm not too sure. Yeah. I think Grid said that too. Let me see. I'm going to be late as shit with the comments, guys, because I'm talking a lot tonight. Fight me on Renji versus Sasuke. You got Sasuke? Hey, yo, what's good, Michael? How you doing, Michael? Or Grimmjow versus Sasuke. My girlfriend wants to see Grimmjow beat the shit out of Sasuke. Grimmjow would do Sasuke so bad, it's not even funny. Grimmjow would do Sasuke bad and enjoy that shit. Like, the beating he gave Ichigo, Sasuke wouldn't be able to last through. Like, you know how Ichigo got his ass whooped, got up, fired a Getsuga at Grimmjow, then talked shit to Grimmjow? Sasuke would not be able to do that. So let me put it in perspective. Sasuke got put out of commission from a single lariat from Killer B. A lariat that showed to do less than large building level AP. Weird thought, but somebody ought to power scale Shakespeare characters. Who would win a sword duel between Hamlet and Romeo? That's so funny, man. Hamlet versus Romeo. I don't even know. I got Mercutio, though. Mercutio, that guy. The main issue with the Narutoverse is durability. Yeah. I mean, so it's a list of things, actually. It's a list of things. It's durability. It is the lack of actual speed feats. Not statements. They have plenty of statements. They got statements for days. An actual feat, though, that corroborates it. Because here's the problem with having so many statements but no feats. The statements come off as inflammatory. They come off as hyperbolic. They come off as trying to sell you on something. Oh, look. Water bullet. Water fang. It's light speed. Oh, look. The samurai. They're doing their things at light speed. Look at Mifune. Oh, look. I can do light fang at light speed. Oh, look. Even though I said Kirin is 144,000 the speed of lightning, in the databook, I'm going to say it's light speed. It comes off as if everything you're trying to tell us is in fact not light speed, and you're trying to sell it to us like it is. Especially when you don't have a feat. The only thing that is shown to be provably light speed, or at least with the most evidence of being light speed, is Mabui's technique. Literally the only thing. And I know I'm missing one there. We have the sword strike at light speed Mifune. We have water fang bullet light speed. Oh, that's right. Haku. Oh, look. I can move between mirrors at light speed. Like, yeah. Now, where was I? Yeah, not a single person is actually surviving this attack in Naruto. Not a single person. Where we at? Leave village versus no main Shinigami plus 2 weakest lieutenants. No main Shinigami plus the 2 weakest lieutenants. So no main Shinigami. So that means we're excluding captains and most lieutenants. So we're talking about Zenosuke Irokumadani. That's the guy that guards Kurik Town with the afro. Zenosuke Irokumadani. We're talking about him. Who else? No main Shinigami plus 2 weakest. So the 2 weakest lieutenants, in my opinion, would probably be Tetsu Zaimon, because he's fucking featless, and probably Asane. But actually, no. Tetsu Zaimon goes high relative with Ikkaku. So although he's featless, he pretty much stalemates Ikkaku. So who would it be? Definitely not Izudu. Izudu is actually nasty as fuck. It's definitely not Yumi Chika. Yumi Chika beat Shuhei. Well, Yumi Chika is not even oh yeah, we can do that. Yumi Chika, because he's not a lieutenant, nor is he a captain, nor is he a main Shinigami, technically. So Yumi Chika, Tetsu Zaimon. Fuck it. I can throw in Ikkaku. Do you count Ikkaku as a main Shinigami, yours truly? Because if not, I'll take Ikkaku, Yumi Chika, Yumi Chika, Tetsu Zaimon, and give me Hinataro. Right, Rev? Give me Hinataro. If we do scale them to the full yield of stuff like the Sokyoku or Biju bombs, a lot of the characters end up in that country level tier. Base Koge versus Sekiro Loki Fire. Oh yeah, so if we wanted to scale, if we wanted to pretend that AP was total joules, that's what you would be wanting to do, Grid. If we wanted to do that, yeah, everyone's numbers gets higher. The issue is the durability doesn't change at all. So all that would really be doing is saying, hey, look, the attacks that they're doing can now kind of hurt them. But Naruto still wouldn't be able to tank these attacks. That'd be the only thing. But yeah, and maybe I will do a video one day where I just take the total joules. That could be interesting. If I just took the total joules, because then that would definitely allow them to compete at the very least. If we're just taking everything as the total joules and not the AP, that would work. It would theoretically work. The lieutenants are losing if they step in the leaf. I know Kuribo believes that. Funny joke. For real, Rangiku alone would fuck with Minato's strategy. Throw kunai and then flying Raijin. Hanako just destroys those kunai. Soifon gets handled by Minato in one move. What move is that? The move that didn't beat Obito? Or the kunai he used to kill a fodder? Which move? The one that didn't even beat his student? The same Obito that can take a paper bomb to the face and almost die from Konan? Ab-Stract, you gotta read Can't Fear Your Own World. Already accurately scale Shuhei. Oh, to accurately scale Shuhei. Okay, I got you. I'll probably get to it eventually, Mugetsu, bro. It's just, there's so much content in Can't Fear Your Own World. Plus, it might be adapted. Hopefully, it's adapted. Sending any captain is overkill. Could wonder why solo the Ninja Alliance. Oh my god, bro. Hey, Michael, that's a fucking funny ass question. That could actually be its own video. So, let's see what we have here. Wonder Weiss was able to blitz Ukitake and one-shot him. He was able to blitz and one-shot a captain of Shinsui's caliber, being Ukitake. He was able to take a sword slash from Kisuke's Benihime. He was able to one-shot Mashiro, even though her holification was off. He was able to one-shot Mashiro. And he was able to entertain Yamamoto for quite a while. I don't think there's a single person in the entire alliance that could beat Wonder Wife. I'm not gonna lie. How would they beat him? Give me a second. Y'all think about that. Yeah, like how would they beat Wonder Wife? I would love to know. Y'all think about that though. Aizen would make everyone in the village fight each other. Then there's that too. If Aizen literally just flash stepped to the like where Pain was and everyone looked at him and he showed them his Zanpakuto, there you go, mass genocide all over the leaf. It'd be blood everywhere. Every lieutenant is relative to, if not outright above, early Soul Society arc Ichigo, who contributed more than a sixth of the power required to shake the Sedate. Bring them the top tiers immediately. See, this is why I like Grid, man. Grid be giving me shit that I don't even be considering. That's true. That's true. Like, the fact that every character scales above this and none of them are taking an attack like this, which, by the way, just so we don't get shit fucked up, let's do this real quick just so we don't get shit fucked up. Hold up. Where we at? No, we're not there. Was it 150? $160. Just so we don't get fucked up. Hey, keep this image burning in your... Actually, I'll just do it like this. Is this a Bleach one? Oh, good, it is. 160. Come on, load for me. You've been doing good. Don't embarrass me now. Load for me. Come on, do it. Do it. Come on. Give it to me. Alright, what I'm trying to show you guys is when Ichigo first uses his Getsuga on Byakuya. I honestly cannot wait to start scaling this series from the ground up for AP. Okay, so Ikkaku. So like I said, Ikkaku goes high diff with Tetsuzaimon, so they're extremely relative. Okay, cool. You've mastered the flash step. Y'all see how nice I am, bro? I knew the exact fucking chapter to go to. So, here we go. Mind you guys, this is a Getsuga at chapter 67. This is a Getsuga Tensho at chapter 67. This is a Getsuga at chapter 160. So damn near 100 chapters later, mind you, Ichigo has fought several people now at this point, and he's actually trained with Kisuke for that 5 days and nights straight. Now, you know what, let me go to the other one too real quick. Let me y'all gonna get it. I'm gonna give y'all the full thing. Okay, there we go. 98. I got y'all. You know what? Let me make a third one. Let's do that. Yeah. Where are we at? I'm the map. So, let me go back. He got me. What did he get you with, Renji? What did he hit you with, bro? So, he's fighting Renji. I can't wait to fucking go over this. I can't wait. Guys, look at this shit. We get another angle of the fucking feet. This is crazy. So we get the Kisuke. We get the yada yada yada. Ichigo realizes he needs resolve. It's the resolve to kill you. So you are capable of it. Resolve. Right. Cool. Don't forget it. That feeling. Nice. They do clashes. Oh. Ichigo catches his sword. That's going to be important. We'll get to that later. So he goes for a swipe at Ichigo. Ichigo fires a Getsuga point blank at Renji. Mind you guys, Renji has not taken any damage during this fight prior, but he is one shot by a Getsuga Tensho. Renji has not taken any damage. But what happens? He says, he got me. What was that, Zabimaru? Defeat from a single attack. My feet won't move. I can't lift my arms. I've lost. But how? I've lost. All lost. So, the same Getsuga Tensho that he just used on Renji. This Ichigo gets stronger. This Ichigo gets stronger. Attains a Bankai. Trains with Kisuke. Fights Renji. Fights Kenpachi. Trains with Zangetsu / Yoruichi. But now, his Getsuga that he fires off at Byakuya. What's it do to Byakuya, guys? Literally only amounts to a fucking cut on his goddamn shoulder. Literally only amounts to a cut. There's not even damage here. So we know it wasn't that bad. But all it does is a cut on his shoulder. Or his arm, if you want to say that. His arm. This is just to reinforce Reiatsu endurability. In case y'all wasn't keeping up. Because I don't just say shit. Oh, look. Yeah. At the moment of attack, it consumes my spirit energy and fires a super high concentration of spiritual pressure from the tip of my blade. He reminisces to this. So we know it's a Getsuga. Then the attack is magnified and discharged. So he's reminiscing to this to let us know that this is the same attack he's discharged at Byakuya. And he's telling us that's Zangetsu's true power. He says, I haven't been able to do it at will until today. I didn't even know how to discharge it. And then we get to him and Renji. After training with Zangetsu, I finally understood, yada, yada, yada. The only one who could teach me how to use Zangetsu was Zangetsu. Yeah. All that to say, Sasuke doesn't have a fucking technique that could hurt Renji. Unless Kirin hit him like full on. That could probably injure him. Let's get back to the comments. Let me see where we at. Why does it always take me so far away? Alright, Wait. What was Michael's question? Michael's question was really good. Not that one. Oh, I missed could Leaf Village beat Enel. I'm skipping some shit. Hold up. Leaf Village versus Enel with the arc maximum. Their best chance of beating Enel is if Enel gets cocky, goes down to the Leaf Village and they can somehow seal him. That is their best chance of beating Enel. Trap that motherfucker. Because other than that, I don't see a plausible way. Like, what's Lightning's weakness in Naruto? What is Lightning's weakness in Naruto? Naruto, N-A-R-U, Naruto, Chakra. Wind style. Okay. See, but lightning is only weakness in Naruto via Naruto logic and mechanics. Like fire, like water and fire makes sense. But that's pretty much the only one that makes sense. Wind being the superior to lightning doesn't really make any sense at all. So that logic actually wouldn't apply. So yeah, they'd have to seal Enel. They're not doing anything with Enel. My opinion, at least. I don't know. Okay, cool. I already saw that. Good. Let's go down. If Yamamoto is there, it's raps. Oh yeah, we already went over that. Bro, listen, Toshiro needs an easy fight to get a W because he is a fraud. Hey, Shinigami. Hey, chill. How is Toshiro a fraud at all? He fought the third Espada and beat her officially. He beat Xiaolong Kufeng officially. He beat Songdu officially. He beat Yukio officially. He had better feats against Gerard. He had better feats against a stronger Gerard than Kenpachi did. Yes, Kenpachi got him to that point, but Toshiro freezing him to the bone and actually making him being able to crumble. Toshiro destroying his sword and shield. Chill out on Toshiro, bro. He scales above Shinsui, actually. In the anime, he's hanging with Ryo Yuha in a tag of war for reality versus Miyagi. That's his Reiatsu in action. Who are we talking about, Rev? Ab-Stract, what do you think of Moshi Shigawari, the Jackpot Fullbringer versus Lee? I think that'd be a dope fight. Lee would have to go at least to the 7th gate, and it would still probably be debatable, honestly. But see, Shishigawari, he's fast enough to tag Ikkaku. He's fast enough to tag Ikkaku. Right? And I don't know if he knows Bringer Light, though. I don't know if he knows Bringer Light. Like, I know they brought him on as a trainee for execution to help with their work, but I don't know if they taught him everything. I don't know if he knows Bringer Light. But even still, like I said, with his raw speed, he's fast enough to tag Ikkaku, and he's fast enough to like punch at Grimmjow. Grimmjow blocks it, but that's still Grimmjow had to react. If Grimmjow was like several times faster than Shishigawari, he could have slashed him before he punched. And he'd had no reason to do that because at this point Grimmjow was still under Tsukishima's book at the end. Minato destroys Yoruichi. She hasn't shown the durability to handle a single Rasengan. Alright, so Kuribo hasn't been listening to the fucking sermon, clearly. Yoruichi scales above this fucking Ichigo, who vaporized the ground with his Getsuga. You see this, Kuribo? Yoruichi scales an order of magnitudes above this, actually, at this point in the story. Yes, she does. Yeah. So the cool thing about scaling to the energy system, you don't need to see a durability feat from everybody. You don't need to. The cool thing about One Piece is we don't need to see a durability feat from let me think of someone off the top of my head that's not in the Straw Hats crew, because they're the only ones that come to mind. We don't need to see a durability feat from, let's say, Kuzan to infer if Akainu can take something. First off, we already know those two fought, so they are relative. We can pretty much bare minimum assume they could survive the same force of damage. because they were extremely relative. Yes, they were. Yeah. Only in your verse, Kuribo, do we have to question every single person's durability, because you guys don't scale to an energy system. None of them have shown decent durability. And in fact, quite the opposite. Like I said, Obito can be hurt with paper bombs to the face. They can kill him. Byakuya can tank this. Byakuya can tank all this and be fine. I don't know where you would ever get that he's beating anyone with a Rasengan, much less. I would have took the kunai over the goddamn Rasengan. Yo, Kuribo, you funny though. Minato hasn't shown durability at all. Remember Minato got a splinter? Remember Minato's house exploded? And then a piece of shrapnel got in his foot? And the nigga's like, ow. That's his durability, bro. Revenant says, one smart. Sometimes you just be yapping. Yoruichi was tanking hits from Cocoon Aizen. What's a Rasengan Aizen? Exactly. Yoruichi doesn't even have the speed to catch Minato. Also, Minato used his body to hold the Nine Tails twice. Yeah, that was a complete fucking outlier, number one. What do you mean twice? What do you mean twice? I remember the first time where him and Kushina jumped in the way. What do you mean twice? And what would that scale his AP, holding the Nine Tails back? What would that scale his AP exactly? Boo-hoo, he held down an overgrown puppy. Yoruichi blitzed Yuha. I don't know, he ran out of ideas. Yoruichi, out of shape in society, has better speed feats than Minato. Better than the verse. Either that or Shinji. Shinji's Bankai has two main effects. One, reversing the concepts of friend and foe, making them attack each other. Two, makes them bloodlusted. True. Being bloodlusted could actually result in Guy going 8th gates immediately. Oh, wow. That's true, actually. That's a fact. Obito versus Gin, I guess. Gin solos Jubito, for real. I forgot all about Gin. I didn't even mention Gin. I forgot all about him. Was he in the picture? Did I just forget to say Gin's name? Oh, that's right. Gin was absent at this meeting. That's right. He was coming in last. He would have been right over here. That's right. Yeah, so even if we take the extreme lowball of Mach 500, they can't even blitz Pain in 5 seconds. We're not even talking about like Mach 10 at that point. If that's the Leaf affiliated Orochimaru, would he even have his weird Orochimaru cockroach immortality? That's a good question. That's a funny question, actually. I don't know if it would matter, though. Guys, a Naturo victim. All I see are a bunch of grand fish. Yeah, bro. Like, we can get some of, like, we can honestly bring out the Fracciones versus the Leaf, and it's gonna be close. We can get Xiaolong Kufang, we can get Eterard, we can get D-Roy. Yeah. We can get Charlotte Coolhorn. We can get the Fracciones that fought Soyphone. Yeah. Besides, isn't it redundant to have a spirit weapon? It's the special part. Yet everything in Bleach is that. Yet they can block those blades. Yeah. Itachi, like, I've always said, like, where Itachi's Susanoo and Totsuka blade are a novel in his world, they're basic tools in other verses, particularly Bleach. It's a basic tool. It's not special, and it has no scaling. Let's be nice and give Guy 100 healings, even though he don't have that shit, just to make it slightly more fair. Okay, cool. If we give Guy 100 healings on top of the 8 gates, he can fight with the lieutenants and do pretty good. Actually. In fact, no. If we give Guy 8 gates, If we give him the 8 gates, his AP is really good. At least scaling wise. Scaling wise, his AP is kind of good. See, but it all kind of depends on where you have Drupidara's durability. Kind of all depends on where you have Drupidara's durability. Asuma is stomping Ikkaku. How the fuck is Asuma stomping Ikkaku when Ikkaku can get 5 to 10 times stronger with a fucking Bankai? Kuribo, you don't even have an Asuma feat at all. You don't have a single Asuma feat. Oh shit. Shisui, the most lore man ever. That bum is not beating pre-enhanced Jackie. Oh yeah, none of them are beating Jackie. Can I show y'all something real quick? Can I show y'all something real quick? Let me show y'all something real quick. I was talking about this in the Discord actually, because I was going to scale this feat. Where we at? No. Oh yeah. Where we at? Right here. Yeah. Excuse me, but no one is actually surviving a kick from Jackie. Mind you, this is a blocked attack, meaning Renji's fist or his hand took a majority of the force and impact. Yet, there was still enough force in that kick to cause this column to collapse upon itself. This is an air pressure feat. The only good air pressure feats from Naruto come by way of Susanos that are, thousands of times bigger than the actual humans, with thousands of times the AoE causing the destruction. Jackie could kick through Sasuke's perfect Susanoo, and he would cough up blood. She could pull Jigen's feet on Sasuke right now, and there's nothing he could do to stop it. How do you look at this feat right here? A kick that was blocked, causing a stone column, big ass stone column, to collapse due to air pressure, not even the full contact hit. How do you look at this and think anyone in Naruto is surviving this shit? I don't get it. Kuribo had the nerve to say, Soifone doesn't have any durability feats. Asuma is beating Ikkaku. You're out your fucking mind, my friend. Out your mind. The Toska Blade cooks the Gotei. They don't have the speed feats to dodge it. So you like to do this a lot, Kuribo. Itachi doesn't have the speed feats to hit them, bro. Fuck. Give me a speed scale for Itachi right now. Guarantee you have to go outside of the manga for it, and I guarantee it's not backed by feats. Talk to him, Cal. One smart. Asuma died to the burns of his own fire. Asuma died to the burns of his own fire style. Ikkaku tanked much larger, more potent flames and didn't even have severe burns. Exactly. Ikkaku didn't even have fucking first degree burns. And all Edorar does is fire. I attribute Naruto being able to pull on his own soul because pain manifested it, made it tangible, akin to Gecko Moria granting intent. Ooh. Hey, Michael. Ooh. Yeah. Actually, I never thought about it like that. It would make sense, though. I never thought about it like that, but it would make sense. Because at that point, it's the ninjutsu interacting with the soul, which kind of grants other things to also interact with it. But, and I've said this in my video, outside of ninjutsu, we've never seen any soul-based interaction at all. We've never seen people being aware, like actually aware. Like I can actually see the soul, I can touch it, I can talk to it, I can feel it. Outside of that, the only time you'll see it is actually in Boruto with when Momoshiki Urashiki Kinshiki Momoshiki. I don't. Who am I thinking of? Am I thinking of Urashiki? Urashiki is the fishpole guy, isn't he? I don't know. Let me see. Jigen. And what's his name? Ishiki. God damn it. I was thinking of Ishiki. I was saying Urashiki though. Yeah, Ishiki is the only person after death that we've physically seen have a full-blown conversation interaction with somebody. Osumo pretended he could actually fucking smoke a cig, and Shikamaru pretended he actually saw him and fucking lit his cig. Get it the fuck out of here. Naruto had a slight thing with Jiraiya when he died, but he didn't know what the fuck was going on. He's like, oh, that was weird. That was a vibe. He really couldn't see or sense him though. And that's pretty much it. Those are your only two instances, aside from Boruto one, that will have a soul interaction, but you can't really even count those because the people weren't really aware. Not really. Here's another thing. Because, like, I really want to stress how strong this beginning series of Ichigo was, bro. $95? No. Uh, 73. So here's the thing, right? Who in the Leaf Village is blocking Jidambo's axe swing? Who? Casually at that. Casually. Look at Ichigo. He's like, what the fuck? Look at Ichigo. He's out here having fun. So Jidambo swinging. Mind you, he switched to a side swing to try and like throw Ichigo off and actually make him move. Who is blocking the full force in Naruto, mind you, right? Zoro's not going to have a problem with this. Sanji's not going to have a problem with this. Luffy's not going to have a problem with this. Mihawk is going to fucking laugh at Jidambo. Blackbeard might have a problem with this. Blackbeard might have a problem with this, but that's because Blackbeard's a conniving, scheming fuck. But we love Blackbeard. Who in Naruto is blocking Jidambo's axe swing? Truly, who in Naruto is blocking this? And then, much less beyond blocking them, he gets two axes, pulls them both out, and then Ichigo shatters them both in a single fucking swing. Who in Naruto is getting past Jidambo? Like, mind you, I don't mean if they can beat him. I mean if they had to do what Ichigo did, block all his swings without moving, and then shatter his axes. Who's doing it? Because people in One Piece are doing it. People in Ichigo did it. I don't even gotta say people in Bleach. Ichigo did it. Who in Naruto is getting past Jidambo? I would love to know. It's not Kakashi. It's not Sasuke. Not without Susanoo, at least. It's not Itachi. Not without Susanoo. It's not Raikage. No one's doing this in Naruto. That's the answer. No one is doing this in Naruto. Sorry to tell you. Let me, because I'm feeling hot tonight. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling hot tonight. I'm going to give y'all a little bit more. Hold up. I'm going to give y'all a little bit more. Chapter 102. Chapter 102. I'm supposed to be saving some of this shit for the video, but I'm hot tonight. I'm hot tonight. Let me ask y'all something. Have y'all ever seen a sword bounce off someone in Naruto? Their bare hand at that? Have you ever seen a sword bounce off someone's bare hand in Naruto? I don't think we've seen it in One Piece. You scale to your spirit energy. You scale to your spirit energy. This is an unnamed, unranked guy. So it makes sense that his sword is deflected. Mind you, right? Here's the thing. The weapon is still a weapon, right? It's still sharp. But the energy behind it isn't. Which is why it does nothing to Chad. But this doesn't apply in Naruto. This is hurting Naruto. This guy is hurting Jiraiya. He's hurting Orochimaru. He's hurting Hashirama. He's hurting Minato. He's hurting everybody. Why? Because all their attacks hurt everybody in that show. Has a sword ever bounced? I'm waiting on an answer. Has a sword ever bounced off anybody in Naruto? Like their bare hand? I didn't think so. That's the last one I'm giving y'all. Because I'm still, I'm saving some of this for the durability video. You know? That's the last one I'm giving y'all. Let's get to the comments. Where was I? Tosuke Blade uses no limit fallacy on the Gotei low diff. Yeah, only thing is, Nick, we don't use the no limits fallacy, or else we could argue it with anything. Because if we're gonna do that, I'll just employ Soul Crush GG and crush all their spirits. Why not? So here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. The fact that they don't really have any resistance to soul manipulation at all anyway, that's actually a valid argument. That one is actually a valid argument. The poison that Shisui was afflicted with had no cure and it worked extremely fast. Sounds like a skill issue, Kuribo. Sounds like a skill issue. No cure and it worked extremely fast. If Shisui scaled to his energy, that poison wouldn't have did shit to him. Tosuke is only a no limits fallacy when you grant the Naruto verse soul manipulation awareness and interaction because much spirit energy. Same Naruto fans will swear JJK's Mahito is a threat because of his curse technique. Mahito is a curse. Mahito is a threat to the Naruto. He is a threat. In some verses, in Bleach, again, his ability is a novel. His ability is like a fucking Tuesday evening, bro. You can change the shape of someone's soul. Okay, cool. We have Quincy that are erasing souls. Let me know when you can erase a soul, Mahito, and then we can talk. Mahito, let me know when you can start to crush someone's soul with your cursed energy aura alone. Then we can talk. Mahito. Mahito. Let me know when you can start to have people drooling and foaming out the mouth because of your cursed energy aura. Souls, that is. Mahito. Yeah, Mahito's dangerous in some verses. Just not this one. One smart. It does, though. It means he can't resist his own attack. If anything, the fact that Hidan's damage from the flames was lethal just makes it less impressive. That's why I will die on the hill that Hanataro solo's not 99% of Naruto. Wait, Tosen hard counters Sharingan and Hiruzen's sense of smell. Oh, Tosen hard counters any perceptual advantage you might think you have. Byakugan, Rinnegan, Sharingan, smelling, tasting, touching, all inside Enmakuro becomes moot. It will not work. Michael says, should Tosen's Bankai be a hard counter to any level of... Oh, yeah. So me and Tay talked about that. Me and Twin talked about that. The fact that it does cut off... Let's go to it. The fact that it does cut off all spiritual sense, it kind of would, Michael, because... let me go to it real quick, actually. And I guess it kind of depends on your interpretation of haki. Twin says haki is willpower, and that willpower comes from the spirit, making it quote unquote spirit energy. I have no problem with that. I'd still want it to be fleshed out more, but I have no problem with that interpretation right now. For Bleach versus One Piece matchups, it somewhat implicates certain things, but it doesn't for others, and it's really weird. Ichigo versus Zangetsu kicks off. Where was it? Kaname. Okay, 140, maybe 142. Whoa, what was that? Yeah, so the thing is this. The fact that Kaname's ability is working on a spirit, and if you want to argue that haki is a sixth sense, which would make it a spiritual sense, the fact that all of your senses are blocked off within Enmakurogi, yes, I personally would say, oh, what's happening here? Someone's sword's breaking. Who's breaking swords over here? Oh, this is Renji. That's right. Whoa. Oh, 148. Oh, their fight must... Oh, that's right. Their fight's going on simultaneously. That's right. I forgot about that. Okay. Your arrogance knows no bounds, Kenpachi Zaraki. All right, come on. But it was sure nice talking to you, Dad. Sure nice talking to you. Da-na-na-na-na, and the cats in the cradle and the silver spoons. Little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when, but we'll get together then, yeah. I'm gonna have a good time then. Come on, where we at, bro? Where we at? Show me Kenpachi. There we go. All right, cool. So he's fighting them both. Good. I should have just went to chapter 145 then, if I had known that. So yeah. Cool. Bankai, Suzumushi, and Makarogi. Love it. So yeah, what do you think? I doubt even you could have imagined such a sight. Although you probably can't see anything now. What's going on? I can't see. I can't hear. Slice. How does it feel? Being in a world without light or sound. Terrifying, isn't it? The Enma deprives the senses of sight, sound, smell, even spiritual pressure, drawing you into an empty black hell. Only one person can escape it. What? You won't capture me by guessing, no. This might actually be the wrong... Oh, yeah. I think I used the other translation for this one because I don't think this one captured the essence of Suzumushi. Let me see it, though. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, wait. No. I think it's a little further down, actually. Let me check it. And a good time, then. Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man in the moon. Okay, how he can't see, hear, or smell. He can't even detect spiritual pressure. Oh my god, my neck. Again, I keep missing his vitals. Is it what Kenpachi says? Let me see. Okay, so yeah, he's really just enforcing that he can't feel spiritual pressure. I think this is a different translation, though, to be honest. But yeah, as far as observation hockey, if you're arguing hockey is a spiritual power, I would say yes, as in it doesn't work. If you think it's something other and it's like a different thing, it's a maybe. It's a maybe. I would say it's a maybe, though. But me and Tay's conclusion was, yeah, Suzumushi would probably block out the senses of observation hockey users as well. All right, that's it. I'm not giving you guys any more from my personal collection for my next one of my videos. Yeah. All right, where we at? Where we at? Damn. All right, Sasuke beats Renji, no problem. He hasn't been hit with anything as strong as Sasuke Chidori. You mean the same Chidori that was only putting small craters in boulders? You mean that Chidori? You mean that Chidori, right? Let me see if I can find it. I don't even know what it's called. Excuse me. Where's Sasuke? Not that. All right. Cool. I don't think we get to see it, though. Unless it's like the chapter before this. I'll check the chapter before this. If not, I'll just kind of Google it. Alright, you know. Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man in the moon. It's really funny. I actually had another video topic. We were going to be talking about Kaguya and battlefield removal, but this is fine. I'm fine with this. Right. So I'm sorry. Did you say like you said Renji has never been hit with anything as strong as Sasuke's Chidori? This was the claim. This was the claim. I don't know. I really don't know. Let me see. Let me see. The same attack that did this. Is the same attack that did this. And we've all seen a Getsuga, right? It's a pretty thin attack. Pretty thin. It's not like your Biju bomb that has to be about as big as the Biju to cause this destruction it causes. No. It's pretty thin. About the size of a sword. Fires out in an arc. Right? We all know that. I wonder, though, which one of these is stronger? I couldn't tell you. What do you think, Kuribo? See, here's the thing. This, if it makes full contact, is killing people in Naruto. Pretty much like anyone, actually. This is killing Kakashi if Sasuke lands it on him. You know it's not killing? Yeah. Kuribo will be saying the funniest things. Ichigo's first Getsuga Tensei that Renji got hit by a stronger than all Chidori. Yeah, it is. Chill, Yugrum couldn't cut Kong Songdu. Don't downplay Songdu Shrift. Was someone downplaying Songdu Shrift? Did I miss a comment? Because him being called the Iron would obviously be a name fallacy. Obviously, he's not as strong as fucking Iron. That'd be like saying Iron Body is only as strong as Iron. Are we going to do that? It sounds like something a One Piece person would say. Not going to lie. I feel like that was Tay. Or Red. Haven't seen Red in a while, though. Wonder if he's okay. Oh, no. Shinigami said that. That's funny. Also, Ino channeled the energy needed to power the Arc Maximum into his hands. He grabs anyone and puts them max 200 million volts in them. He's vaporizing them with large mountain to island level total joules. Yeah. Ino's a problem. Ichigo's first Getsuga is weaker than Chidori. It's not, Kuribo. It's not. It's not weaker, and it scales higher. Because Ichigo actually fights people who progressively have higher Reiatsu, which means they have stronger durability or higher durability. Everyone in Naruto's durability is pretty much just based on them being a ninja and whatever the fuck that means. But it's not tied to the energy system. It's not tied to anything we could actually determine or even fucking calculate based on anything. Brother, Sasuke saw a hole in the water tank and damn near shit himself. Exactly. Like what? What narrative denotes that Song and Baz are relative? If Chidori is stronger than Getsuga, explain why when Ichigo used it, the ground was deleted, but when Sasuke dragged it down a hotel wall, the wall still exists and just has an indentation. Good point, too. Sasuke ran his fucking Chidori across the whole building, basically. Nothing, everything was still there. Like, I don't know why Kuribo be saying the things he says. It has to be fanaticism. It has to be. Mind you, Ichigo's is a fucking arc. That's all a Getsuga is. It's an arc from the sword. Even the total volume isn't that big. Bigger than the hand Chidori? Sure. Still causing much more Still having a higher AP just based off the scaling. Ab-Stract is too far behind. Oh yeah, I'm way behind, bro. I'm way behind. Y'all having your own conversation. It's gonna take me fucking forever for this shit. Yeah, look, Michael's already in bed. I'm gonna just keep up. All right, hey, take it easy, Michael. Good night, everyone, and send a good night to Ab-Stract as well. Take it easy, Shinigami. Ab-Stract, do you think Kid Sasuke and adult Sasuke's Chidori are the same AP? Yeah, so here's the thing, Kuribo. Sasuke's Chidori doesn't have any scaling to suggest it's any higher. That's the thing. It has no scaling to suggest it's any higher or stronger. Like, if I were to ask you for a feat, and I'm glad I caught up, because I want to address this now anyway. If I were to ask you for a feat that shows a higher... Where did this come from? Oh. Yeah. If I were to ask you for a feat, Kuribo, from Sasuke's Chidori that showed better than this, what exactly would you show me? What would you point me towards? What scaling could you point me towards that shows better than this? Because this is the problem I had in the Toshiro versus Kakashi fight. We don't even get this for Kakashi's Chidori. We don't know what the fuck his Chidori could do. All we know is that it's strong enough to go through Zabuza. Okay. Cool, I guess. The fuck does that mean, though? So, no. While I do not think Sasuke's Chidori is the same Chidori from part 1, that's not what I think, right? What else do I have to go off of? What else suggests it's much more powerful? What more suggests it's an order of magnitudes more powerful? What scaling suggests it's way stronger than what I'm seeing? What scaling? Getsuga is not thin. Getsuga is thin. What are you talking about, bro? Let's go to the Getsuga he shoots at Byakuya's Bankai. Let's do it. It's not too many chapters after this. Was it on this one? No, not this one. Was it this one? $73, $67. No, not this one. Was it the first one? Oh, yeah. Cool. So let's go to Getsuga, because Kuribo doesn't think it's thin. But I'm pretty sure he fires a Getsuga at Ichigo, which Byakuya promptly blocks. Pretty easily, might I add. Oh, here we go. Yeah, like I said, it's an arc. And mind you, this is perspective. It looks bigger because of how it's drawn. He's further away. This is a closer up shot. It looks bigger. But the actual thing is not that big. Like we've seen the Getsuga. Getsugas are not that big. Can he make them bigger? Sure. Alright, where we at? A fully controlled Getsuga is thin. The reason why it initially covered such a wide area was because he couldn't properly focus the AP. Getsuga is flat and taller than Ichigo most of the time. Well, when you say flat, what do you mean by flat? You mean like, if you're saying it fires in the arc shape, then yes, I agree with you. Ab-Stract, check DMs, fam. Discord DMs. I got you. I'm going to check them. Deathbed, Hagoromo throws the moon into orbit. Madara obtains power comparable to Hagoromo and is chasing Kaguya. Kinshiki is superior to that Madara and is solely physical stats brawler. Okay, so we have to go to Boruto. So here's the thing. So yeah, the Hagoromo and his brother making the moon, quote unquote, and throwing that into orbit, quote unquote, again. That's kind of unquantifiable for me. I know it takes energy. I don't know the AP equivalent of that energy, though. I don't know how anyone could determine the AP equivalent of that energy. I'm not really a fan of calcing the Chibaku Tensei because it's an attack that, number one, transpires over time, and I'm not really a fan of a lot of attacks that do that in the first place. Not a fan of it. It depends on how it's done. But that is continuously lifting up chunks of the earth, mushing them together, and then compacting them. I don't know how we could determine an AP from that. Not sure how. I'm not sure how we could determine who would be pulled in by this attack. Not sure how. Don't know it. So that's number one as far as Hagoromo. And then with the whole launching it into orbit, everything pretty much seems to go off without his interference or whatever, or his brothers. It kind of just seems like once the jutsu's enacted, it will happen. Whatever. All right, then you say Madara obtains power comparable to Hagoromo and is chasing Kaguya. Yeah. So, chakra isn't stats. Simply having chakra doesn't do anything for your stats. We know this because Naruto, who had 4 times Kakashi's chakra, was still inferior to Kakashi. We know this because Kisame, who is a tailless-tailed beast, can still be injured by attacks from Asuma, basic swords from Killer Bee. We know this because Deidara is able to 2-shot the 3 Tails Kinshiki. Deidara does not have any fucking chakra levels near the 3 Tails Kinshiki. So we cannot assert just because Madara has power close to X that power and durability are somehow mingled together. It's not how it works. For ninja, they achieve high AP via techniques. Chakra has to go through an active process of being molded, manipulated, controlled, and then executed to become what it is. Right? Yes, the amount of chakra in your body, especially if you overload on that chakra, can cause you harm. Point being made, especially if you overload on it. Same thing with Reiatsu, right? Too much Reiatsu in the body can cause you to burn out from the Izan. We almost saw that with Aizen. Difference is, we've actually seen spiritual pressure be used as an attack on people, on their very beings. Right? So no, simply asserting Madara is chasing Kaguya and he's getting close to that power, that wouldn't do it for me. Let's get into the Kinshiki argument. Grid says Kinshiki is superior to that Madara. Kinshiki is... Alright, so the Boruto scaling. The Boruto scaling is tricky. Mind you, I do have the Otsutsuki as more durable than your average ninja. And I think I said the same thing with the cyborgs too, because the cyborgs at least have a statement of being more durable per se. But to get Kinshiki's actual durability, what I would need to see is Sasuke's fucking Chidori actually do something. The only thing I have to scale off Sasuke Chidori doing something is from part 1. Sadly enough. No one else is tanking any other attacks. Every other attack is being deflected, dodged, moved around by teleportation, avoided. No one's physical body is tanking an attack. The only person who has tanked a Chidori outside of fucking Kinshiki is the 4th Raikage with his lightning armor jutsu. And if you want to bring up Killer Bee, Sasuke wasn't trying to kill Killer Bee. He was trying to capture him. So that was a held back Chidori. All it did was electrocute him. He wasn't trying to pierce through Bee. So no. No. The minute everyone starts getting hurt by everything in your verse, it almost makes everything unquantifiably unscalable. Almost. It does. I'm sorry. But yes, Kinshiki was able to take an attack from Sasuke. This is true enough. True enough. He did. In Momo and see, here's the thing. How strong is Sasuke's cutting power? Sasuke doesn't have any cutting feats. If I had to argue for Ichigo, I at least know Ichigo can cut through Jidambo's big ass fucking axes. I know Zoro can cut through fucking Pika. And then I know Ichigo scales the people like Kenpachi who can bust meteors. Sasuke's not busting meteors with his sword. So how strong is Momoshiki for being able to tank Sasuke's sword slash? We don't know. There's no good scaling for a Sasuke sword slash. His sword slashes seem to work on everybody. Samurai, Mifune, whoever he's fighting with a sword, and 9 times out of 10, he usually gets disarmed or forgoes the sword anyway. Whoever he's fighting with a sword, it seems to always work though. Yes, it does. What's good, Red? What's good, Godflow? How you doing, bro? What's up? We talking. Ab-Stract, I said fat, not flat. Fat? Oh, fat. Oh, his Getsuga is fat. That's funny. Okay. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. His Getsuga is fat. I don't know, bro. In total, like, let me see. This is a bad shot to use. I wouldn't use this shot. Perspective makes this look a lot bigger than it's supposed to be. We see how Ichigo goes far away, Byakuya is even further. This is a more close-up, panned-up shot. But with this, we don't get a full... We don't see Byakuya fully. But from its dissipation... I guess I can give you the arc being bigger than him. I guess I can give you the arc being bigger than him. Yeah, I gotta cover this fight on live one day. It's a good fight. I missed a lot of stuff, guys. I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna have to come back to this one day and really actually look at all this shit, because you guys were yapping a lot. But this was a good topic for tonight. Alright, he says Kid Sasuke has taken out bears bigger than Jidambo. That wasn't the question. Kid Sasuke, that wasn't the question. Jidambo is like building level. He's unironically getting out-muscled by Jidobo. Again, not the question. That's not, guys, that wasn't the point of whether you believe that's true, whether you think that's true or not. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking, could anyone in that verse survive his axe swings? I don't think they could. Could anyone in that verse shatter his axes in one swing? Don't think they could. Asuma had trouble blocking Hidan's scythe. Are Jidambo's axes in Asauchi? That's a good ass question now. What makes Asuma's flames more potent? They barely scorch the ground while Edorad's vaporizes several meters of asphalt. Very good grid. Very true. Considering both Songdu and Basby die to Yugrim, the narrative through line is consistent. Not saying he scales, just saying that Toshiro losing to Songdu is not an anti-feat. Ikkaku was hit by less potent flames. See, it's funny. It's funny. Like, Kuribo will say that shit, and then you'll have Grid say, literally, Ikkaku was hit with flames that vaporized the ground, and Osmos didn't actually scorch the ground. They didn't actually scorch anything but himself via Hidan. But then Kuribo doesn't respond to Grid saying that. He kind of just goes on to the next thing. Let me go all the way down. Alright. Ronan says, in fact, ninjutsu have ranks based on power and danger levels. Chidori is A rank, Raikiri is S rank, and so on. Once you can use Chidori, it's the same thing across the board. Oh my god. I thought those levels were ranked on difficulty. Was it ranked on danger? I thought all the ninjutsus were ranked on difficulty. If it's ranked on danger, that actually might be something I could use. Let's see. Because if it's danger, I would imagine things like, well, let me see. Ninjutsu rankings. Let's try that. So, hey, Rev, let me know where you got that from. Yeah, okay. It's kind of what I thought. So, I guess I'll just fucking click on it. Fourth databook jutsu files. Alright. Let's start here. Jutsu classification. Classification 1. The 3 different types of effects that each jutsu can have on a target. Classification 2. In order to use a jutsu, there are 6 types of special requirements for a jutsu. Ninjutsu, taijutsu, genjutsu, Keke Genkai, Keke Tota, Keke Moda, Secret, Sealing, or Senjutsu. Jutsu name, main jutsu user, jutsu type. The effect of a jutsu, there are 3 types of attacks. There are 3 types, attack, defense, and supplementary. A, jutsu that attacks an enemy directly and has the effect of damaging the body. D, jutsu that defends against attacks and offensive jutsu from ninjutsu, from others. And then S, jutsu like clones or genjutsu that provide support and are advantageous in battle. So, jutsu range. The range of effectiveness for jutsu such as close, mid, and long range. However, these are situations where the ability of a user can change this range. C, close range jutsu. They're the most effective within 0 meters to 5 meters. Wait, what? Actually, 0 to 5 meters? Okay. Mid-range jutsu, which are the most effective within 5 to 10 meters. Okay. And then L, with jutsu of long range, the range of effectiveness can exceed 10 meters. Okay. Jutsu rank. There are 6 ranks that determine the degree of difficulty of a jutsu. However, the degree of difficulty for a special jutsu is marked as right. So yeah, Rev. Unless you have something else that suggests a jutsu of a higher rank dictates a higher potency, I don't know if I can use that. Because this was kind of what I was thinking. Jutsu are based on difficulty, not potency. But hey, if you have something, I'll definitely take a look at it, bro. If we took a hypothetical Prime Rising from Yu Yu Hakusho and drop him in Bleach, so like for Yu Yu Hakusho, I don't know all the characters. I know Toguro, I know Sensui, I know Yusuke, I know Hiei. You know what I mean? I know some people. I don't know everything because I haven't rewatched it since I was like a fucking kid. Chibaku Tensei skepticism doesn't change my argument. Hagoromo is explicitly stated to have thrown the Ten Tails husk into orbit, so it didn't go off in its own. Yeah. So, what would be the AP of that grid? What would be the AP? How would you determine it? And then that's scaling off of the Chibaku Tensei. That's that attack. That's not any other attack. That's to say if he even has any other attacks that could be scaled to it. But like, how would we determine the AP from that? throwing that into the moon. See, it almost borders on creation feats. And I don't take creation feats as AP. To me, that would almost be like a creation feat. And it might be even worse because he's not even creating matter. He's taking matter that already existed and kind of making a conglomerate of something he wants to exist. He's making a satellite, basically. The moon. So, yeah, tell me how we would determine AP from the Chibaku Tensei, being it's an attack that takes a course of time to complete and pulls small parts of the earth, or even small and large parts of the earth. What's its gravitational yield? Has anyone ever resisted it? Because Kaguya was kind of the main attraction point of it. If we're just talking about the orb, who's to say it's pulling in a Kenpachi versus Itachi? How would you argue it? And I know you can only type, so you got to do the best you can. But I got you. I'm here for it. We in here yapping, that's a fact. Madara is noted to have been chasing power on par with Kaguya. So the point about Chakra not scaling to stats doesn't matter, as that's not what Hagoromo is worried about. Okay, cool. So, Grid, what is your argument then? What is your argument then? Because if we're not talking about Chakra scaling the stats, what are we talking about as far as... Because you brought up Kinshiki being superior to Madara and then him being able to tank Sasuke's attacks. I'm with all that. What is the underline then? Give me the underline of what you're talking about. AP and durability mostly, but by the way, Asuma versus Ikkaku, who you got? Asuma. Ha! Mugetsu says, would the strongest Naruto character technically be the Shinobi Striker, CAC? I don't know who that is, Mugetsu. Sasuke has plenty of cutting feats, like cutting off Kawaki's ninja tech arm, but being blocked by Jigen's rods. That's not a cutting feat, bro! Kuribo, bro. Kuribo. That's not a fucking cutting feat. And the fact that we have to go all the way to Boruto makes my fucking point. It makes my point. It makes my point. The fact that you have to jump all the way to Boruto makes my point. First off, we don't know how fucking strong Kawaki's goddamn arm is. We have nothing to compare it to. Secondly, we don't know how fucking strong Jigen's rods are. Nothing to compare it to. We don't know the durability of the rods. Nothing to compare them to. Saying, oh look, he cut his arm, but he couldn't cut his rods. All that tells us is that Rod's arm. Rod's arm. That's all that tells us. It doesn't tell us diamond. It doesn't tell us to what degree of stone. It doesn't tell us to what degree of steel. Because he's never cut steel, has he? Oh, Ichigo never cut steel either. Yeah, but Kenpachi busted a meteor. Little bit more impressive than cutting steel. Too much to explain, but short version is Battle IQ, Taijutsu, and his fire style ninjutsu. Don't ever mention Battle IQ and Asuma in the same sentence. He fought Hidan one-on-one and got fucking tagged by his scythe. Number one. Hidan is not a smart character. And Asuma had support fighting him. So that don't ever mention Battle IQ. Taijutsu. Why are we talking about Taijutsu when Ikkaku has fought Kenpachi? When Ikkaku has fought Ichigo? Why are we mentioning Taijutsu? And then his fire style manipulation. The same fire style manipulation that didn't cause any damage to the surroundings. The same fire style manipulation that injured himself. And mind you, Ikkaku tanked an attack that vaporized the ground. Asphalt. Concrete. Vaporized it. He tanked that. And then Ikkaku has a Shikai and a Bankai, making him 5 to 10 times stronger. What the fuck is Asuma doing against anything? See, I believe a lot of you Naruto guys just be saying shit just because you don't like the fact that a Bleach character might win. In no universe does Asuma or anyone relative to Asuma, whatever that means in Naruto, beat someone like an Ikkaku. It just doesn't happen. The feats don't show it. The scaling doesn't suggest it. Ab-Stract Shinobi Striker is a Naruto team combat game with custom characters. The custom characters can use the abilities of whatever character the devs add to the game. Oh, okay. Shinobi Striker is the video game. Okay, my cousin plays that. I do not play that, so I'm not too familiar with it. I kind of stopped playing Naruto games at Clash and Ninja, Naruto Storm, the Naruto Storm game. I stopped at the Naruto Storm game, so I wouldn't know anything about that stuff. I would have to look it up and scale it, which I'm not a scaler, and compare both scenes to be sure. Hey, yo, don't let Godflow's ass fool you. He says he's not a scaler. He's a scaler. He be scaling shit. He be talking about power scaling. The AP is coming from the Chibaku Tensei. It's coming from the kinetic energy. The AP isn't coming from the Chibaku Tensei. It's coming from the kinetic energy required to throw something of that size up to orbital radius, which would be in the moon to small planetary AP range. Okay. So that sounds like more of a total energy thing. So here's the thing. AP directly challenges durability, right? When we get into energy or the kinetic energy of something or even the potential energy of something, like holding back a bow on a bow and arrow, when we get into all that stuff, these are different forms of energy, yes, but these do not automatically just go into an AP range because they have X amount of energy behind them or because X amount of energy is associated with them. From you, Grid, you're saying, let me read it again, make sure I'm not making a mistake. You said the AP is coming from the Chibaku Tensei. Cool. We know the Chibaku Tensei is a technique that makes a strong gravitational pull and pulls in large chunks of the earth. So, if the AP is coming from the Chibaku Tensei, and where's that comment again? Okay. I'm sorry. I read it wrong. The AP isn't coming. My fault. Yes. The AP isn't coming from the Chibaku Tensei. It's coming from the kinetic energy required to throw something of that size. Okay. So, the actual mass in moving that is the AP. So, here's the thing. I don't know how you would derive an AP from it. I really don't know how you derive an AP from it. Maybe you can help me with that aspect. Because I only know AP to challenge durability. I don't know anything about kinetic energy in movement in calling that AP. I don't know anything about that. He says the size of the orbital radius, which would be in the moon to small planetary AP range. Okay, so yeah, what does AP mean to you then, Grid? Maybe we can find a common ground here. Because it would almost seem like you're saying Hagoromo might be able to punch with the force that he sent the moon into orbit with. In which case, I would love to see a feat. In which case, I would love to see some scaling backing that. Because you're saying, yes, the kinetic energy of the mass being moved. Okay. How do we derive AP from that? Exactly. What techniques that aren't the Chibaku Tensei does he have that we would know scale to it? But, I mean, before we even did that, we would actually have to get the AP. Yeah, so I need to know how you define AP, because I know AP, attack potency, the potency of an attack. An attack, that's not an attack. Moving the moon is not an attack. That's how I know. That's what I know AP to be. So if you have a different perspective on it, share it with me. If I'm convinced, I'm convinced. If I'm not, I'll just stick with what I've been doing. But yeah, share it with me, bro. I'll definitely hear you out. Because at the end of the day, I don't think Hagoromo physically threw the moon into orbit, which means it's a chakra / energy based thing, which also wouldn't be AP. Because we know chakra is an energy supply. Chakra is not an AP gauge. It's an energy supply. I do think you could probably find the total energy that it took to do that. But deriving AP from it, I don't think so. Ikkaku straight up tanked a huge pillar of fire that vaporizes concrete. Asuma's fire could probably burn trees. Yeah. You can disagree, but it's true. Okay, the outline would be moon level feat from his deathbed, Hagoromo's ninjutsu. Healthy Hagoromo's ninjutsu equals Jubidara's ninjutsu equals Kinshiki's fickle stats, Boruto era Sasuke Chidori. Okay. Okay, yeah. So, moon level feat. Moon level feat, total energy. Creation feat, DC. That's what we're looking at. So, grid. Okay, he says AP is the energy one is able to apply to their attacks. The reason I'm taking this Hagoromo feat as AP is because it's just a different application of the David Pass gravity manipulation. AP is the energy one is able to apply to their attacks. So, therefore, more energy equals higher AP. Because that would directly go against triple AP scaling. As far as total energy per cubic centimeter or per volume. So, okay, let's try and rationalize this though. Let's try and rationalize this. You said AP is the energy one is able to apply to their attacks. Okay. The reason I'm taking this Hagoromo feat as AP is because it's just a different application of the David Pass gravity manipulation. Okay. So, at least with the... So, here's the thing. While you can call that an attack, and I kind of want to hit this at every level. Like, yes, it's an attack, but the thing is, the gravity isn't doing the damage. It's the continuous compounding of the stone that would be doing the damage. Unless you can show me the gravity actually doing the damage to somebody. I don't know. I wouldn't do that, though. That's number one. Then number two, you were talking about the actual kinetic energy to launch it into orbit. Like I said, I kind of think that comes from the chakra or the energy supply. And I'm struggling to understand how this would be AP though at the end of the day too. Rev says, grid, that's a very convoluted chain, bro. Come on. You really believe that shit you typed? We know how strong Kawaki's arms are and how strong the rods are. Jigen's physical strength smashed Naruto through the rods. Delta vaporized Kawaki's arm, but didn't completely go through. Oh my god. Yo, you use some crazy ass logic, Kuribo. I'm not even going to entertain this right now. Grid's conversation is much more entertaining. I'm sorry. Fuck, it's 10:30. I gotta call my fiance. Let me see. All right, yeah. Let me read Grid's thing again. The outline would be moon level feat. So yeah, we gotta establish why this is a moon level feat. Because if anything, it's a creation feat, which is really in reverse context or reverse causality a DC feat. It's a destruction feat. It's a destructive capacity feat in reverse. So instead of causing large scale destruction, he's causing large scale creation with things. That's already an issue. The fact that we're doing that's already an issue. So moon level creation feat because he created it, then he launched it. That's already an issue. So yeah, Hagoromo's ninjutsu, which we don't know, which we can't presume to be the equivalent of his probably strongest technique. In fact, we don't know any of his techniques. So we're kind of pyramiding inferences on that because we don't know his techniques. We don't know his AP. For example, if he did, no, I'm not even going to get into it. We don't know his AP. We don't know what he's capable of. We saw one technique from him, and you're trying to use that as a scaling springboard, which is probably his strongest technique since it beat his mother. You're using his strongest technique to springboard things to his other techniques, but we don't know if that's the case. We don't know if that's true. That almost be like saying the fireball jutsu has more AP than a Raikiri or than a Kirin. That's almost like what it would be saying, but no, we wouldn't do that in the first place. We want to see feats and scaling for all these things. Then number 2, you say healthy Hagoromo's ninjutsu. So this assumes and asserts that healthy Hagoromo would have more potent ninjutsu or more potent things. We don't know that either, because Jiraiya got stronger with age, not weaker. Older Jiraiya is in fact stronger than younger Jiraiya. He got older, so we don't know that for sure either. Jubidara's ninjutsu. So yeah, Jubidara's ninjutsu. What all ninjutsu did he show? Lightning and light fang, which didn't hit anybody again. So we don't. Well, we can presume it would have hurt them because pretty much anything hurts anybody in that show. So we can presume it would have hurt them. But as far as an actual scale of how, or a calc of how powerful it is, don't know. Couldn't tell you. Kinshiki's physical stats. Mind you, Kinshiki got injured by Chojiro. The blood mist Hiramakake, his ninja tool, he got injured by that. Like, he literally pierced through. He got injured by that. Are we now saying he's above Hagoromo's ninjutsu? You remember that, right? Chojiro pierced him with the blood mist spikes. Are we saying that is above Hagoromo's ninjutsu at his prime? I wouldn't know. I don't know, Grid. This might be a weird take. Then you say Boruto era Sasuke's Chidori. The best thing we've seen from Sasuke's Chidori is it almost destroying a meteor. But it did that with large AoE. So what he had in his hand wasn't enough. He had to hit the meteor, spread all his lightning around it, and then destroy it. So at a low end, whatever that would count to, I wouldn't mind giving that to Kinshiki's durability. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that. All right. And again, he says AP is the energy one is able to apply their attacks. So yeah, in a sense, that's not wrong. But the thing is, we need calcs for, like, we actually need to see damage done for AP. If it is the energy you apply to one's attacks, we would need to see the results of those attacks, not just the energy used in those attacks. We need to see the destruction, the type of destruction, and then to what degree that thing was actually destroyed. How much area or what volume of what was the volume of the attack used? How much area did the attack cover? Did it fragment? Did it heavily fragment? Did it violently fragment into small little pieces? Did it vaporize? Did it pulverize? What are we talking about? We don't get any of these things from a creation feat like the moon. We don't get any of these things at all. Like I said, it's a reverse DC feat. So even in your stance of what AP is, and let me just make sure I'm reading that again correctly. You say AP is the energy one is able to apply to their attacks. So even with that, the attack is the formation of the thing. It's not launching it into the moon. That's not an attack. The attack is the energy. The attack is the orb pulling all the stones. That's what's causing damage. You would agree damage is what the attack is, right? If you agree that damage is what the attack would be, then you're not getting that from launching the thing into orbit. That's not an attack. No, it's something that happens, but it's not an attack. The attack would be all the stones coalescing and making a big ass moon rock. Moon level feats in Naruto don't even really be moon level because the Naruto moon is an empty shell. Hagoromo isn't doing the physical. Hagoromo isn't doing that physically. OT would only scale to his ninjutsu since he just repurposed an offensive ninjutsu towards moving the moon. He can still apply the same technique offensively. Alright, that was a little hard to read, bro. I'm not gonna lie. So amid, had Hagoromo created a huge castle using the Chibaku, would it still translate the AP? And this is the problem with creation feats. Right there, that's the problem with creation feats. Red says, laugh my ass off. I get lifting strength via telekinesis or gravity manipulation, whatever. But then to equate that to the striking power and AP of creation via chain scaling is absurd to me. No, not with the Chibaku Tensei. As Ab-Stract has pointed out, it has a few things that are non-dependent on the person creating it. I agree. The gravity would be moving the stone, mass times acceleration, and all that. Yes, if you're talking about the gravity sucking in the stones, yes. See, but like that's the initial, for me at least. For me, that would be the initial thing. I don't even want to call it AP because the attack doesn't start until you actually start getting impacted by either the stones hitting you in the orb or the gravity having an effect on you. That's when the AP would actually start because, at least in my purview, AP is challenging durability. You can't have AP in a vacuum. We can't say, oh, I created a star, therefore my AP is now star level. No, that could just be your fucking hack's attack. That could just be your hack's ability to create a star. If you can create a star, but you can't level a city, or you can't even level a town, a small town at that, your AP is not star level. Your creation feat is star level. Your hacks is that. You might even have the energy required to do it. But put that in an attack. Show me that. Because all attacks aren't the same. All techniques are not equal. No, they're not. All attacks are not equal. The gravity would be moved. Okay, I read it. The only non-Rinnegan technique we know Hagoromo can use is creation of all things, which he used to split split the 10 tails into the Jubi. Great. Grid, what makes you believe Madara scales above Hagoromo in any way? Specifically, what makes you believe that Hagoromo's feat that you're using as the base of your chain doesn't scale higher? That's a funny question. Higher than usual. The Light Fang did cut through Naruto's chakra rod. Yes, it did. And we have do we have an idea of how strong the chakra rods are? I think you can probably base the chakra rod's strength off of you can probably base them off of Naruto and Sasuke's Senjutsu enhanced avatars clashing with the Sword of Nunoboko and the shield. You can probably base it off of that. I don't know for sure. Okay, she said yes. Cool. All right, guys, I gotta get out of here, but I'm gonna read the last couple questions. But this was a good topic. We've seen sick characters. I've seen the vision, but it's too contrived in my opinion. There's holes in the logic. Hagoromo states 6 of them that Madara has achieved power like him and is chasing his mother, Kaguya. And it's reaffirmed in the 4th databook that Madara unleashed the true power of the 6 paths. So, power is subjective. In what context is he talking about? Is he talking about chakra amount? Is he talking about power in techniques that they can now use? It's very subjective. It's very subjective. The same Madara that was reaching that power was able to be one shot by Zetsu. No scaling. I don't care if you want to say it's off guard. It happened and it worked. The same Madara that was about to encroach on Hagoromo's power gets bisected by Sasuke. Yes, this is Sasuke after he got power from Hagoromo, but he has nowhere near the chakra of Madara. And I know you're not insinuating chakra equals stats, but this is what I'm trying to say. What are we talking about when we say power? Are we talking about techniques? Are we talking about chakra amount? Are we talking about usability of something? Like, what are we talking about when we say power? Yeah, all that lightning is condensed on the Sasuke's hand. Then why did it spread out from his Chidori and encircle the entire meteor? We use source material here, not data books. That's true. That's true. And mind you, I only pulled this up. So no. Let me correct that. Let me state this for the case. I do not mind using data books, and I've said this before, so I don't mind saying it again. I do not mind using data books if it is for lore purposes. For example, the series actually never goes over body flicker. You're only going to understand how the body flicker works if you go to a data book. If we're talking about lore, I do not mind. I used the data book for I used the novel for the Bleach cosmology video. I don't mind if we're talking about lore. When we get into things that heavily change the scaling landscape, when we get unbacked statements of light speed, when we get unbacked statements of destroy all things in the universe, blowing away society with your fan, burning as hot as the sun, that's where I have a hard stop. I don't mind. I just want to make this clear, right? Because I know he's not doing that. But I don't mind data books for lore purposes. To me, this is completely fine. The jutsu section chart, this is completely fine for me. I have no problem with this. All this is shedding light on is techniques, where they rank, and why they're ranked that way. Absolutely fine. I would not mind someone busting this out in a conversation. Don't mind at all. It's only when we get into things like Water Fang Bullet is light speed. Okay, why? And then where's the scaling for it? Oh, the Anbu have a technique that is light speed. Okay. What in the manga suggests this is true? Where's the evidence for that? Yeah. But no, good Mugetsu, yeah. Definitely. We definitely don't take unbacked things, especially in the manga. And for all we know, Hagoromo just meant Madara got that white skin and them fancy eyes. That's hilarious. It's not the Chibaku Tensei creation that scales. It is the energy that Hagoromo is producing through basic Deva Path gravity manipulation, which he can use directly offensively with Almighty Push. Alright. I don't know if I believe that. So, you said it's the energy that he's producing through basic Deva Path gravity manipulation, which he can use directly offensively with Almighty Push. I don't know if I believe that. And it's kind of hard. All right, so it's not the Chibaku Tensei creation that scales. It is the energy that Hagoromo is producing through basic Deva Path gravity manipulation. Okay. Let me do this. Does this happen in the manga? Let me do this. Okay, I don't. So, hey, Grid. Be honest with me. Are we scaling a anime only feat? Grid. Well, let me ask you. Well, let me. Are you saying Hagoromo can do this by way of giving Naruto and Sasuke his chakra, and since they have his chakra and his chakra was the catalyst for it, AP? Because I'm starting to think that this was a anime only feat. I'm starting to think this was anime only. Think of creation feats like building a sandcastle versus destroying one. It can take potentially hours to build a big sturdy sandcastle, whereas a single dropkick completely destroys it. And you wouldn't even need to use the same total energy that you used to destroy it that you created it. Either. Creation and destruction are completely different. Having achieved power like mine is also too vague, and given the context, it's more like Yuha saying Yugrim has the same power as him, or like him, Hagoromo was referring to the six pass. Ab-Stract. Hagoromo died from a chakra illness and separated himself from being the Ten-Tails Kinshiki. He was significantly weakened by the time he did the moon launch feat. Alright, you're talking about the moon launch feat via Naruto and Sasuke, right? You're not talking about him and Hamura versus Kaguya, right? Because he's a young man in this, I don't know. If you think the statement is too vague to scale back to Madara, that's fine. I think the context of the dialogue and the data book reaffirming it paint a clear picture. My guy's air pressure was strong enough to crack an enhanced shield Madara made by combining all of his chakra rods, so they can't be that impressive. I gotta go watch that again. I haven't watched Might Guy versus Madara in a long time. Ab-Stract, do you think Hinata be sneaking off to the cloud at night because Naruto's chakra not enough? That's crazy. Mugetsu, that's wild. I'm not answering that. In chasing my mother Kaguya doesn't mean anything. Kabuto was chasing Orochimaru, Sasuke was chasing Itachi, Obito was chasing Madara. It just means trying to attain a certain level of skill. Zetsu, you mean the will of Kaguya? Yeah, the will of Kaguya ran from, what, the 5th Mizukage? The will of Kaguya has no feats. The will of Kaguya can't do nothing without a host body. I don't know what the data book says, but if it changes the context of the scene, then it's contradictory. True. By that logic, a heavyweight champion's diet planner scales to the fighter because their diet plan is their will of fighter. LOL. Again, the context of the conversation is what's important. The manner in which Hagoromo is talking about implies that he's chasing Kaguya now that he's on par/surpassed Hagoromo. So, and that's kind of what I was like asking about. Surpassed him in techniques, surpassed him in chakra level, surpassed him in skill levels, surpassed him in being an adept as far as being a six paths user. What are we talking about? But like I said, nothing suggests that Madara's basic attacks are equal or stronger to that of force behind Hagoromo's strongest technique. Nothing at all. And it goes doubly for fucking Sasuke. You aren't making any sense. Kaguya made Zetsu. Also, people be forgetting that when Zetsu killed Madara, he was literally using Obito's body. Obito's body that had just not had the Ten-Tails in it. Yeah, Obito's regular fucking body, missing a Sharingan. I'm sorry, he still had a Rinnegan though, so yeah, sure. But Obito's weakened ass body, yeah. It's not, but I'm saying what correlation does Madara being stronger have with Sasuke and Chidori scaling higher than Hagoromo's strongest jutsu? We scaling a statement again. We scaling... Okay, so we are scaling a statement. So this only happens in the filler. And we're scaling what he told Naruto or Sasuke or whoever. Okay. Yeah. You know how I feel about statement scaling? Do you know how I feel about statement scaling? Okay. Madara is stronger. Does that mean his punches scale above this feat? What jutsu of Madara scales above this feat? And how does Sasuke scale to it with Chidori? Just realize I'm a few minutes behind. I got you, Mugetsu. I'm going to check all my Discord things because you sent me something. Shinigami sent me something on Twitter. And I still have to get back to Rev. Me and Rev are going to have a really good fucking conversation once I get into this Bleach shit. It's cold as shit. But, yeah. So, like, Grid. Honestly, bro, Grid, I think the best you can do with that is get the total jewels. I'm not under. I really don't understand how you could extrapolate AP from a creation feat. But then again, I think you've said several times you're not basing it off the creation feat, right? You're basing it off of the kinetic energy it took to launch it into orbit. The only issue with that is, again, I think you agreed, the technique is kind of independent of whatever they're doing. He's not actively, number one, even if he was actively using Shinra Tensei to push this here, I don't know how that would scale for Madara and then for Sasuke, let alone Sasuke. I'll be right back. Like, even if I were to grant that he had power enough to use his Devapath Shinra Tensei to push that giant ass thing into orbit, I'm not too sure how this would scale for Madara and then scale for Sasuke. Encroaching on my power would not be enough for that. I would want a direct feat for something like that. I'd want a direct feat. And that's, if I were to even take it, though. Because, like I said, these two are standing here independently, not doing anything. If the move just, once you touch, the jutsu starts, and then it does what it does, I don't know if we can even count this in the same realm as him using Shinra Tensei. To me, these would be two different techniques. And like I said, not all techniques scale equally. Your fireball isn't going to be as strong as your Chidori. Your Rasengan is not going to be as strong as your Rasen Shuriken. Why would Chibaku Tensei be as strong as Almighty Push? Why would they be able to have the same amount of energy put into them? And then why would Kinshiki's physical scale above that? That don't make sense to me. Kinshiki got injured by Chojuro. Sometimes I swallow my weed smoke to make it flow out my nose like a dragon. My brother does that. Alright, cool. 10:48, almost a 3-hour stream. This was fun. Hey, Grid, I like the energy though, because Kuribo be needing some help. So I like that you wanted to switch sides today. Very fun. I like it. No, his punches wouldn't scale. His jutsu would, and Kinshiki due to being stronger than Madara with only physical stats, and no jutsu by necessity has to exceed that with his taijutsu. I don't know about that. So like, here's the thing, bro. You can be physically stronger and still weaker. For example, when Momoshiki ate Kinshiki, Momo was able to tank Sasuke's sword swing. But Jigen, who is physically the strongest specimen that we've seen, couldn't tank Sasuke's sword swing. He had to block it with chakra rods. He had to block it with rods. He couldn't tank it. He could be hurt. But he's physically superior to everyone we've seen thus far. And it doesn't help that we don't have anything to scale these off of, like an energy system. Like, yes, I have the Otsutsuki as stronger, but even that would still be a case-by-case scenario. Like, I don't know if I could get a minimum for the Otsutsuki. You have some being able to block sword attacks from Sasuke. You have some not. You have some actively being injured by fucking Chojuro, and some taking Sasuke's Chidori sword. I don't know. I can comfortably say they're stronger than Ninja. I just don't know by how much they're stronger than Ninja. But all right, y'all. Time to talk to the fiance. I fuck with y'all. Thank you for rocking with me. Tomorrow, we're going to get into the topic of battlefield removal and BFR and how fun that stuff is. Anime filler contradicting the statement made in the manga again isn't new. Anime Hagoromo just sucks, I guess. It's too convoluted. Yeah. Good shit though, Grid. Good shit, cause like, at least when you posit things, I know it's like thought out. At least I know I'm gonna have to like go a little deeper. Only thing with what you're talking about, I would like how you define AP isn't enough for me. It can't just simply be the energy put into something. We would still need to see a result of that energy. And then if you're saying, oh, the AP is the energy of the push to put it into orbit. Okay. How does that translate to Kinshiki's physicals and Sasuke doing that? I don't know. A lot of unknowns at the end of the day. Although I do like it because it's good conversation, it is somewhat convoluted because it does make us jump through a lot of hoops. We had to rely on the anime filler version. So we're really judging a statement of the past, which we didn't even get a flashback for and all this other stuff. But yeah, I'm going to check my DMs. Mugetsu, Rev, take it easy. Grid, take it easy. Kuribo, I know you're going to watch this full thing back. You take it easy as well.